Hi Aries, I hope you guys are doing terrific today. This is going to be a reading for the general messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the last 2 weeks of November. I hope you guys are doing great today. I'm going to be sticking straight to tarot today. I'm going to be doing a separate spread, a separate bonus spread, pulling tarot for the transits and your house placement specific to your archetype. A little later on next week, okay? But for now, let's pull a crowning energy from the Mystical Shaman deck. I haven't used this deck in a while, and I was called to use it. Some really cool messages usually come out of this, so let's see what we get. The Mystical Shaman. Okay. I like it. This is an awesome crowning energy, okay? Because when this appears in your reading, you're being invited to think about living without attachment. You're being called to create and dream a life that you really want, to act on inspiration and divine impulse that you're feeling deep inside of you without fixating on any specific way of it rolling out, like on any known story of success or achievement. You want to ask yourself a few questions here, which are totally healthy. Can you impartially observe the stories that you tell yourself and others? Impartially, kind of like detached. What if you could become a mystery to yourself? Who would you become if you stopped telling the tales that have defined you up until now? Because you don't have to live in a story that has roots in the past, right? So what if there was no need at all to explain to anyone, not even to yourself, any of the decisions that you've made or that you want to make? Because the way to your most extraordinary life is to become a blank slate and allow the form of your dreams and desires to show up as it will. And believe me, it will, Aries. I can attest to this. This is a true sign of manifesting the life that you're really meant to be on. That you're really, really meant to be on. I love this. It's a beautiful crowning energy. Gorgeous. All right, so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling a few cards for where you are now, some blockages, some blessings, and outcome energies for the last 2 weeks of November. I already shuffled these, so I'm just going to do a cut on camera, pull all the cards, and then we'll get right into it. Okay, so let's pulling from the Tower of Galen and Wheat. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling a top row and a bottom row. The top row is going to be your conscious mind and how you're functioning sort of out in reality. And then the bottom row is going to be some messages about what's happening in your unconscious mind, right? Okay, let's put these over here. Okay, so that was for the present. Let's find out some blockages. Let me cut. Okay. Nothing to be scared at with blockages, no big deal. It's life, right? We all have them. Then I'm using my Chakra Tarot for your blessings. Such a pretty deck, so full of colors. As you guys know, as you can tell, I'm between my chakra tree and my little meditation friend here with this chakra bracelet. I'm all about balancing out our chakras, so I like this for our energies as far as our blessings. Good. All right, and good old Rider-Waite for our outcome. Like it. Nice. Nice. Awesome. All right. So let's get right into it. Hopefully you guys can see these. At least too much in there. All right. So that's going to be outcome. All right. So let's get right into this. So right now, in your present situation, hopefully you guys could see those, we have the King of Swords reversed, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Five of Wands reversed. So Aries, so some of you, I feel like you're in a space of, with the Five of Wands reverse, you're in a space of arguing with somebody, or this could even be within yourself. But it's got to do with something that you're identifying as not really fully being your issue. Somebody's being extremely unfair in one way or another in your life. So this could have to do with any part of life, guys. This is not specifically a love reading. It's not specifically career, you know, any area of your life. There is discord. Five of Wands is like that. Five of Wands is kind of like poking at each other in the fog, in the dark, and just really not seeing eye to eye, but you really honestly believing, right? And this is in your conscious mind and reality, that whatever you're dealing with this argument is really ultimately the seed of it is not your issue. And I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's been very unfair to you in some ways. So this could be a boss, a colleague, a friend, a family member, or a partner. But the King of Swords is, you know, first of all, and in the reverse, it's somebody who you honestly believe is not playing fair or being honest. One or the other. It could play out either way. But somebody who is definitely not functioning within your best interest right now. And this is something that you're having to deal with. We have this Ace of Cups energy, which is about a new beginning, though. Aries. So this is, I feel like for many of you, this could go a couple of ways. Those of you dealing with relationships, I'm getting that this could be you guys deciding to really, like for real, to start this next chapter in your relationship. Even if you've been together for 20 years, relationships have ebb and flows, and they have cycles, and they have these new mini chapters, and they have new larger chapters, right? So this is, I feel like a lot of you are going to be in a space of starting this new thing. This could even be a new job. This could be a new business. This could be you guys dealing with something new in your life, a new baby in your home, you know, some sort of new circumstance within your family, but there being discord around it in some way. And you sensing some sort of dishonesty, you sensing some sort of like, yeah, but you know, I don't know if this is like, if these are my monkeys and this is my circus kind of thing, where you're feeling this desire to kind of pull away from any sense of discord. You'd much rather just focus on the new beginning. And that's where I'm getting you're at right now. This is in your conscious mind. Now, under all of that, yeah, because you really want whatever it is that you're working through right now with this person in whatever situation it is. You have this sun. This is like deep in your subconscious. This is like soul messages here, okay? So the soul message here is that whatever you're involved in right now, you just want it all to be okay. You just want everything to be just peaceful. You know, just really peaceful. But you feel this Two of Cups in reverse energy, which is all about discord in relationship. Now, I can tell you that this is not necessarily like an end-all thing, Aries. You know, Two of Cups in reverse could simply be that you're so busy in your life right now that you're not feeling connected to whatever person you're thinking of right now, whatever situation you're thinking of right now, that you're not able to either give more of your time and attention to the situation or whatever it is, right? Or it's just some sort of like not seeing eye to eye. But this is not the kind of energy though where things totally fall apart. This is the kind of energy where the recommendation here is be mindful of it and try to figure out a way to fix it, right? Because then we have the Ten of Wands, and this is recognition of the end of a cycle, the end of you in your heart of hearts realizing that something the way it's been up to now, it's just been, you're not motivated to continue on that particular path anymore, which is so healthy to have the Ace of Cups in your conscious mind, right? In reality, because it's very difficult to have an Ace of Cups, a real Ace of Cups, a healthy Ace of Cups without having the Ten of Wands under it. Because the Ten of Wands is about just not being willing to continue in a certain cycle anymore. It doesn't even have to be like all that nasty or anything at all. It could just be like, you know what? It's just been a little too much lately. Too busy. This is, yeah, and I am getting, okay. Because this makes sense to me to have the Two of Cups reverse, and the Ten of Wands is also the energy, the multitasker. You just have too much stuff on your plate. There's just not enough hours in the day. And what happens when we get that busy and that like kind of pulled in so many different directions is it's really hard to focus clearly on any one thing. So things kind of messages end up getting lost that shouldn't. You know, we are Mercury retrograde. It is going direct within this period on the 20th. But it doesn't happen like that, right? So you have to give it a minute. But I like this because this makes sense to me. Very healthy. There's an ending of a cycle that you guys are identifying. I feel there's a newness here. There's a newness in one aspect of your life. So I really like this. So let's just check out some blockages that you might be dealing with right now with this person or situation. So we have 3 reversals. 4 of Wands reverse, which is an indicator that telling me that there's lack of motivation, and this is like in what you're talking about, how you're speaking in reality, that you feel like there's a lack of motivation in creating this new foundation, this celebratory space, right? Because the 4 of Wands upright is all about engagement, marriage, new foundation. Yay, let's go and build our life together. And then we have the Queen of Wands reverse and the King of Wands reverse. Okay, so there is definitely, there's some discord here in your blockages. So I feel like this is some ego energy, Aries, right? Because Wands are will, and in the reverse, this shows not only delay, but sort of sticking to your egos, kind of each of you going into your corner. And the fact that we have both energies, King and Queen here, this does not necessarily mean, again, does not have to be an intimate partner. This is just a very clear indicator that it's you and another. I don't feel like this is 2 sides of yourself. So I feel like, one of these are external. It doesn't matter which one. So when we're talking about, the King of Wands being in reverse, there's ego and aggression at play. And when we're talking about the Queen of Wands reverse, we're talking about ego, but suspicion of some sort of deception here that's creating the delay. So I feel like in your blockages, there still might be some trust issues with some sort of regarding this situation, really being able to trust it and believe in the foundation. And this is you just like in your everyday conscious mind, what you're tapping into. But when you sit in your moments alone and you really tap into that inner spirit and what's under it, into that subconscious, a block that you're feeling is the 4 of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, this can be either in yourself, you're recognizing that, you might have enough just being by yourself. You might not, the deep blockages. I don't know, do I even want to do this? Because I kind of have it, like I have what I need. You could always have more in the 4 of Pentacles energy. A lot of people do consider it like the miser card, right? But in the upright, it's not in an unhealthy way. It's like, I have just what I need. Do I really want to kind of upset my cart? But then we have the Empress. The Empress in reverse does indicate, this can mean some domestic strife, some money issues, but money issues and things having to do with your home space. So this really wouldn't have so much. No, actually, it's impossible that one not lead into the other, so I'm never going to bother separating it, because this can mean something not coming to fruition, and this could have to do with finances, or it can have to do with connection. Because when we're talking about the Empress, we're talking about building. The Empress is the mother of the tarot. So it's all about planting seeds, growing the seeds, bringing things to culmination, fruition, and birthing them, and then going through that process again. What do we need in order to do that? We need everything. We need pentacles, we need cups, right? We need emotions, we need resources, we need to know how to connect. We need will, right? So we need all of that. So I'm sensing this deep in your unconscious, if you're really, really honest with yourself. As much as you want this situation, you have a fear of it because you're not sure if you're willing to give it all that it needs, because we have the Emperor energy, which is you. So this is you being very in tune with what you want, which really speaks to the mystical shaman crowning, really being in touch with what you want, what you know to be necessary, what communication is necessary. Everything that makes up that transformational leader, because this is the leader, all right, of the tarot, What do we need to compromise? What do we need as far as communication? But I feel like you're afraid that that's not going to end up happening with this person or situation. Right? I just feel like it's, and you know what? Why do I do this? Because somebody was like, oh, why do we even have to mention fears and blockages? Well, because they're important to identify. You know, they're just important to identify because it's what we're working with. We don't want to, when you really want to manifest something, it's very important that you be dead ass honest with yourself about where your blocks are. Because if those are thoughts, even in your subconscious, thoughts become things. And it's really great when you can get in touch with it and call it out onto the floor and look at it and say what's real, what's not. And am I intuitively fooling myself into thinking that I want this? Or am I just functioning from a place of fear? And then you need to ask yourself what's real, what's not, and work from there. You know what I mean? Because sometimes out of our insecurities and our vulnerabilities, we end up creating stuff. So let's go on and talk about our blessings, okay? The blessings here. So we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. I love this as a blessing energy because this tells me that you're just not feeling defensive of yourself anymore, Aries. You're not, and I don't even get, there's a lack of willingness, I can say it like that, but I feel like that's a negative vibe to it. It's this understanding within yourself that you don't need to defend your choices. This is you really accepting and owning the fact that you have your own life. And that whatever person you decide to be in a relationship with, whatever job you decide to take, whatever choices you've decided to make at your job, within your family, within your friend circles, it was always the best decision that you believed you could make in that moment. This is you forgiving yourself and you being in a space of not defending yourself, not even to yourself. And that's beautiful. Temperance, yay. This is the alchemical card. This is about balance. It's about honesty. It's recognition for what's necessary in real time in life and a willingness to compromise. It's what do you need and what does the situation need? So this could be, having to do with work, right? Recognizing what your needs are. Out of your work, out of your career. What are you really looking for? And are you able to get what's really speaking to your soul and your spirit on this path? And if not, this energy supports you maybe staying within the same career, but maybe tweaking the path a little bit. Maybe going for a workshop or requesting a transfer into a different department or just simply approaching it from a different way where you feel more satisfaction. If this has to do with relationship, it's you being fully on board with understanding what compromise needs to look like in your relationships. And there's a willingness there. So I really like that. And then we have the third blessing is the King of Wands reverse. So this is about delay. And this does indicate a lack of willingness. But as a blessing, this is you recognizing things that you're just not willing to deal with anymore in your life. I mean, I love this. This is a crown chakra energy. This is you. I mean, honestly, between this and having the Seven of Wands reverse, loving it. This is about you really getting in touch with what works for you, Aries, and you not wanting to go along with what everybody else wants to do, but not in an egocentric way, because we do have temperance here. That's a beautiful balance, right? So this is like what's coming out in your everyday, really beautiful. Let's take a look at what's happening, the blessings in the deep subconscious of your mind. So first we have the Six of Wands here. I love this. The Six of Wands is the card of autonomy, which is exactly what we need to really kind of adopt when we're talking about this mystical shaman energy. Because this is about you. Autonomy means working very independently within your own mind, right? Because the Six of Swords means stepping away from a situation, at least momentarily, from a place where you feel like maybe isn't 100% healthy for you, just to go to a healthy space, even if it's just inside your own self, to get a different perspective on things. And the fact that it's in the reverse just kind of amplifies that need to escape. And I feel like The blessing here is you identifying what you need to move away from, even though you can't move away from it right now. But it's the identification of it. It's the identification of you recognizing and labeling what's no longer working for you, and identifying and labeling what is working for, what will work for you, even though you might not be able to implement it right now. And you're keeping these ideas very close to the cuff here. The Hermit reverse is about being taking that mental space, being very introspective, but in the reverse, it's just keeping your own counsel. You're not even talking to anybody about it. You know why? Because this is so deep in your subconscious that you might not even be aware of this yet. Wait until this time and this time period rolls out before making any judgment calls on yourself or these energies, right? But I am getting that you're going to be feeling this beautiful pull in a very healthy, into a very healthy space. And then we have the Six of Coins reverse. Yeah, so this is telling me that you're identifying an area that you don't feel is very supportive of you, and that is such a blessing to figure out, honestly, Aries, like areas in our life that don't fit us anymore. And this doesn't even have to be a big deal. This could even just be a mindset. You follow? Because it's coins. Pentacles mean not only regular finances, having to do with investments and money in real time, but it has to do with how we do connection, emotional, mental, and physical connection. So this is telling me you're very much getting in touch with where you feel this sense of lack. If you're in a relationship, is your communication as strong as you'd like? Or if your communication is really pretty good and everything is going along quite well, are you getting enough out of your intimacy life? How you guys are intimate with each other. Or maybe this is you recognizing that, you know what, I'm okay with money, but I actually really want to make more, and not in a dreamy Pollyanna kind of way, where you're identifying if you take a certain path right now, a realistic path, it's going to increase your resources in a very practical way, and you're feeling very enlightened by this. There are new ideas coming in this energy. New ideas to help anything that's pentacle related, whether it has to do with money or connection. Beautiful. The outcome. Come on now. The Fool. Woo! I love the Fool. It's about taking calculated risks. You got the Hangman energy, the Hangman reverse. The Hangman reverse is you not making any flippant decisions right now. You holding tight. So I do definitely feel, because we had that the Six of Wands reverse here in the subconscious blessings. I do feel like there are some changes that you're going to want to be making that you might not be able to make right now, but the willingness is definitely here, right? You're seeing what your future is going to look like. This is such a beautiful manifestation reading, I can't even tell you. Because the Two of Wands is about recognizing and having the willingness that you're going to move forward, but it's also recognizing what's been getting in your way. That's the reverse, is like what's been getting in your way. And you're figuring all this stuff out by hanging upside down, right? And the Hangman reverse, though, is about really reflecting on everything and trying to get to the root of what was real, what wasn't. And if you go back or stay in a situation, are you going to end up becoming more of a victim in that situation than a victor? Is it going to actually bring you what you're looking for? Very beautiful pensive energy, but you're going to be so willing to take that blind leap of faith. And I really love this. And even though I said I wasn't going to talk about the transits in this, I'm really not. But when I do the transit spread, and guys, if you guys are interested in that, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe and press the bell notification so you get notified when I put that out. But we have a lot of beautiful Chiron energy coming in end of November into December. And I am going to talk about it in that video. And Chiron is the wounded healer, so this is a lot of us are going to be returning to what we wanted to do once upon a time before life soiled our expectations and our dream and our ability to actually bring things to fruition for ourselves. So I love that we get the Fool here as the outcome, because I feel like, Aries, you're going to be taking great advantage of that. And in your subconscious, again, we get the Temperance. Beautiful. This is about making it happen in a very honest way. There's truth here. You can't have temperance without truth, because you really can't, because then it's not the Temperance card. Because again, it is the alchemical card. So what does that mean? That just means literally the mixing of two two ways of thinking, two ways of being. This is beautiful compromise. And in order for compromise to be real, it has to be based in truth. It has to be based in needs and desires and dreams and visions of an outcome. And you're thinking about it and you're deep. Ooh, I love this. You're not doing anything flippantly. I love the Four of Swords. You guys know, it's just as the soldier comes back from war. He's laying on the top of the coffin he had made before he went away to war, just in case he passed. He's laying there so grateful that he made it through. And what are his next steps? Where does he really belong? And this is somebody who has been there, done that, right? This is a soldier of hardcore war. And what happens when we go to war and we come out alive? Everything. Like, reality just has a different hue. And what matters really does come to the surface. And this is you again with this Hermit energy. Just really, really being in that mental space of figuring it out. Very, very healthy. Some of you might be dealing with the Virgo. But honestly, we have all the signs here. But what's different here in the outcome is, and because this is in your subconscious in the outcome, I feel like you're going to be very in touch with your intuition, with spirit, and you're going to be talking to people at the end of this time period about what you really see for yourself and where it is you want to go. And you're going to be doing that unapologetically, not worrying what anybody thinks. And again, not in an egocentric, selfish way at all, a very healthy way, a very, this is my decision, this is what's speaking to my soul, and don't let the negative Nancy's in, because things won't manifest that way, guys. Remember, if we allow the blocks in, the blocks are going to be there. Thank people for their opinions, their advice, if they're not on board with you, whatever. Make sure the negative stuff stays out. Really envision what you want, Aries. Envision how you want your life. Seriously, and this is not about, I don't want this to get, too hippy dippy trippy, but I am a fan of vision boards, right? I think that you should at least sit down and write out what are things that you want in the different aspects of your life, and really put it out there, and then let it go. Let it go. Don't harp on it. Don't imbue it with any of your fears, because then the fears become things, and that will end up blocking it. And I know that's very difficult to do, because we are living in the human condition, right? And fears are a part of that. But you need to be logical and divert your attention and just breathe deeply and pivot your mind and just focus on what you want to bring to yourself right now. Because the energies are here. Really get deep and honest with yourself, because there's so much support here. I'm really liking this. Aries, this is what I have for you for the last 2 weeks of November. I hope this was helpful in some way. And thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.